continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Cloudy skies today with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm. Watch for flooding. High today 76 to 81. Then very cloudy tonight with a thunderstorm in a couple of spots and a low of 69 to 71. Clouds and a little sunshine on Wednesday. High tomorrow 82 to 84. Then we'll have plenty of sunshine on Thursday with a high of 79 to 84. Shower in places on Friday. From the Florida Weather.
Wednesday, the 22nd, is Earth Day. On Monday, you heard from Samantha Fowl, author of Be Decent. Samantha wants to empower people with the knowledge that they can use to make a positive impact on our local and global environmental health. For information on the book and how to order your copy, go to BeDecentBook.com. Decent people with decent tech can save the planet. All we have to do is be decent again. BeDecentBook.com. Earth is our home. Let's take care of it.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917. It is In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. She is here. She is every Tuesday.
Yep.
Carol Ann, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Today is National Weed Day.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So, and by the way, it's a plant.
It is.
It is actually a weed.
It is.
The reason people say we're smoking weed is because you are. It's a native weed plant that was native to North America, I guess. Could probably be native to other places.
Yeah, well, we know it's in South and Central America.
I know the Native Americans partook a lot.
Yes,
that was what was in the Pisum pipa.
Yes, well,
when they were smoking the piece of pipa, that was in there.
It chilled everybody out.
Yeah, because you go to a bar, you get bar fights, see 3-4 drunks fighting.
Oh yeah,
you get 3 people high on marijuana. They're like, dude, is that the last slice of pizza?
Yeah.
Relax. We got Pringles. We got Little
Debbie's.
Doritos. And we got Doritos.
Yeah,
calm down.
Yeah. And it falls on Taco Tuesday, so what better
There's
for
Mountain Dew in the refrigerator.
Yeah, there
Relax.
you go. Just chill. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get 3 guys playing pool and drinking Jack Daniels, and somebody's going to get shot off over a quarter pool table.
Right.
3 guys smoking pot at the bar. They're going to, all right, who's,
Do you really even want to play this game, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, they'd start laughing over it. Yeah, they get the giggles and
But it's good though. It is Taco Tuesday, so it's a good day for it.
So there
it's also National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day.
Oh.
Is there a better cake in the world than pineapple upside down?
They are good.
They're really good.
They are good.
They're really good.
And you can almost say they're healthy because it's got the pineapple and the cherries. Yeah.
And the reason I bring up this is the city of Ocala has gave a occupancy license to a hemp farm here in Marion County. Hemp grows very easily in this environment.
Right.
No, we're not subtropical, but we're close.
We are tropical.
Right.
We're tropical. above us is temperate. We're tropical.
Miami
is subtropical. Right.
And so it does grow well here. And by the way, the use of hemp is amazing.
Well, and I may be wrong on this. I always figure hemp became it was illegal to grow it.
Yes, it has been illegal to grow it in the United States. The largest.
And it's a fantastic textile. And I
Here's what
believe
gets
it's
us.
because it was the cotton industry.
It was the cotton industry and the lumber
them out of
industry.
business, yeah.
The cotton industry and the lumber industry, because you can make paper out of hemp.
And you can make rope out
can
of
make
hemp.
rope.
And you can make fabric.
It takes 20 years to grow an acre of pine trees enough to make paper.
Right.
You can do it every 10 months with hemp.
Right.
The lumber industry did not like that.
Right.
You can make hemp. You can take the fabric. You can take hemp, make
the
it down
fibers.
into fibers. Every 10 months, you can replace that. The cotton industry didn't like that because that was competing with them
it's
because they can do it every 10
exactly.
months.
Right. Yep.
So hemp was made illegal. Industrial hemp was made illegal to grow in the 30s, along with reefer madness and everything.
Right.
And here's what was so hypocritical about it. Because, like you said, you can make rope out of hemp.
Right.
Actually, the best rope made to deal with the climate and to deal with weather and to deal with moisture and everything is hemp.
Right. Is natural fiber.
Right. Natural. Right. You know who the largest producer? You know who the largest user of hemp rope in the world is?
U.S. Navy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, on the ships.
On the ship, the U.S. Navy uses
Because
more
of the
hemp
because
than anybody in the world, and we were buying it from Afghanistan.
Of all
because
places.
you couldn't grow it here.
Yeah.
It grows. You know where hemp grows amazingly well? Mountains of Kentucky, mountains of North Carolina, mountains of Virginia, the Appalachia area that is so third world country poor.
Right.
And we denied them the opportunity to make hemp, not marijuana.
Right.
You can make hemp that doesn't bud.
It has no THC. It has no.
You can make it where it doesn't bud.
Right.
And it would have made. It would give some revenue to one of the poorest regions of the world.
Right.
You think when we think say we got first world problems in the United States, go to Appalachia.
Right.
They got third world problems there.
Yeah.
Okay. I lived in and around Appalachia when I was in Boone, North Carolina.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know, I lived in Deep Gap, Triplet Mountain, and there were some places on the backside of the mountain where I lived that people were still living in shacks that had roofing paper on the outside instead of siding and everything. Their outside protection of their walls were roofing paper.
Roofing paper, right? To keep the elements out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've lived in know the area.
Right.
The U.S. government wouldn't allow them to grow industrial hemp because the whole lobbyist groups of
between
the cotton and lumber.
Cotton and timber industries. Yeah. Put them out. So at least now people realize.
But now people are growing hemp here. And the reason I bring up that it's hemp National Marijuana Day and then upside down pineapple, upside down cake day is I always wondered this.
Okay.
Can pineapples grow here in Central Florida?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I was. I finally. It took me forever. I finally harvested last year my first pineapple, and it's funny because I was always under the impression that the top of the pineapple, grew one more pineapple because that's your flower. That's your bud is that pineapple, the part you eat. You take the top off of that, you plant it in the ground. 18 months of non-freezing temperatures, boom, you've got another pineapple. And I always thought that after that pineapple, it would make pops, baby plants, in which those would continue your process. Well, I have another pineapple coming out of the same pineapple top, out of the one that I harvested, and I'm going, the parent plant never died off.
And they're supposed to?
That's what I always thought. So maybe it's not that quickly. But yeah, I have another pineapple starting again this year.
But it is one of those plants that you cannot allow it to get below 32 degrees.
It's if you can protect it, that's going to be the best. A lot of times you can't because we'll get too cold. But mine made it through last year. I did not cover it with the weather we had last year or this past winter. I don't think I've ever really covered it. But then again, I say, everybody's yard is a microclimate. Mine is in particular because I've got enough trees on actually all four sides of my, of where I'm living. So it's a microclimate. But yeah, it's one of those, it is a subtropical or tropical to subtropical plant. They do much more easily, further south you get, because you think about where they grow the most of them. They grow them in Hawaii. They grow them in Central and South America, Costa Rica. When
So
you
you
read
get down
the
around
labels,
Naples, Fort
Honduras,
Myers, Naples, the Keys, they probably really grow well
they
in.
grow. Yeah, they grow very very simply in any of those other areas, and here they do pretty well pretty well too.
'Cause I just never thought, it's one of those things that I was like,
It wouldn't be a cash crop here because of that, but for the home garden, and oh my goodness, talk about sweet. It was a little pineapple. It wasn't a whole lot bigger than my hand, really, but it was the first one, and it was fantastic. I ended up cutting it what I thought to be early. It had not put on any color,
Right.
but the stem had gotten so tall that the pineapple, the weight of it, was bending that stem way over, and I was afraid it was going to snap, or it was getting it much closer to where some vermin might be able to reach it and steal it. So
the reason I ask about the pineapple is because Bob Houck puts out a question that goes 10 questions about Florida, goes in the newspaper every Wednesday.
Okay.
And one of his questions this week was about Citra.
Okay.
The tiny Marion County town right up US 301. And an orange that is the home. It's the home of this orange. And I'd never heard of this orange. And some say it's the sweetest and juiciest of all citrus fruits. The pineapple orange.
Oh, pineapple. Oh, the pineapple orange.
I'd never heard of a pineapple orange.
I've heard of the pineapple orange, but I didn't know it was.
It says this tiny Marion County town of US 301 is home of the pineapple orange, which some say is the sweetest and juiciest of all.
They
fruits.
are a good orange. They are a good orange.
I wouldn't.
You probably.
Does it look like a pineapple?
It has a little different. I think that one has a little bit of a different shape. But it's, most of us, the Parson Brown, that one's definitely a local one. And I
Right.
think the Hamlin is also another local one. But I did not know that the pineapple
Orange Citra.
was at a Citra.
originated in Citra, according to Bob Houck's smarter than I am.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yeah, Ocala, Florida history and Ocala history,
Yeah.
Marion County history, yeah.
Is it amazing to you sometimes to just think as you're driving around to think this all used to be citrus country?
Oh, I know.
Until the Great Freeze.
Yeah. And there was
all
a few of them.
citrus.
Yeah, a few of them. And actually, I'm trying to remember where I had read it, that back in 1700s, 1600s, the citrus industry, here's how global warming's working for you. Citrus was grown as far as Savannah.
Yeah.
And grown somewhat commercially.
We had growing up in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 kumquat trees. We had
kumquats
two
are pretty
oranges
hardy.
We had
though,
2 orange trees. We had a grapefruit tree.
Yeah.
And now you go up there, and I've been to that same house that I grew up in.
Yeah.
You know the only thing left? Kumquat trees.
Tree, yeah. Kumquats are pretty hardy. But I'm just saying that the industry itself, here we know Citra, it's a good ways north as compared to what it was. When we used to come down as a kid in the 70s, you're driving down the turnpike and stuff,
it just smelled like
it was
oranges.
just oranges on both sides of the road, and now it's
the villages on both sides of the road.
That and Claremont is now all and those are just
I drive
houses.
out in the Wearsdale, Ocala
and
area.
you still have
and
a
there's
lot
still
of citrus groves.
There's still some groves out there, but you could also see where the groves used to be, and some trees are wild and everything.
And the dead stands
Right.
of trees where whether or not it was canker or greening now is the worst going on with that. But there used to be some, or there still are some mom and pop groves in
Marion
this area.
County people, Marion and Lake County used to be big citrus counties.
Yeah.
Big citrus counties.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it's just, and I know that a lot of it, canker got a lot of it.
Canker and the cold weather.
Right.
And I think what happened with, and this is what happens with a lot of stuff that might be that maybe the varieties that we're growing here were a little further north than they should have been, that maybe there are or could have been better varieties for this area that would have tolerated the colder temperatures a little better. Like, say, kumquats.
Yeah.
But kumquats just don't catch on.
I'd take the whole kumquat skin and all, pop it in your mouth
that's how
and
you're
eat it.
supposed to eat it. It's like, I can't handle them. I
they're
like
fantastic.
sour things. I just can't handle.
And I love sour, and
Yeah.
kumquats were.
Or
My
that's
mom
your-
she'd make kumquat marmalade.
Right.
Oh, make you want to slap somebody. She used to make sour orange pie, too, though.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Which was really good.
Yeah.
I can't eat a sour orange, but I can eat a sour orange pie.
Well, yeah. It's because it's a little different. Yeah. Has sugar in it. But, that when we have cold weather, that puts a big stress on plants, especially plants that might be subtropical.
Right.
And
we're
some of
just
it,
in that area.
We're at some of that teeter-totter line for certain plants, and people don't realize it. That some of the, and I hate to say, queen palms have been overplanted.
Yes.
We are at the northernmost edge of where they will survive and thrive. And you get a couple of bad winters, which happens sometimes in a row, and next thing you know, you've got decline. They've either been frozen or now they are ripe for disease or
and we're
insect
not talking
problems.
about a small palm tree.
No,
either.
you're talking about something you're going to pay somebody some hefty money to get rid of. Same thing with the Robolini. Now, the Robolini's a smaller palm. You can pull that out with the pickup truck and a chain.
But a queen palm, you ain't pulling out.
You're not pulling out. You're calling somebody. And they're tall, and they're a lot of times close to the house. And if you live in, depending on the community, you've got to prune off those dead fronds. Well, that you really wouldn't want them hitting necessarily the house or
because
the
they're falling from 40 feet.
Right, yeah, hitting the windshield or anything like that, or hitting the roof. But we are on that teetering point. We're right on that area where certain plants really you're taking a chance. And so when you're looking at the cost of either buying one or maybe replacing one 10 years down the line, because we had a couple of bad years of cold weather.
You change and go to a sago because it lasts.
Yeah. But even sagos are, they have their problems because they got insect issues.
Where in Florida when you think about it, where do you see the timberline of pine trees really changing from being the major tree of note to where it's there? Because like in North Florida, Jacksonville, Callahan, up around the Georgia border,
it's pine trees
because they're from Georgia pines and everything.
Right.
And we have pine. Don't get me wrong, we have a lot of pine trees in Ocala,
Ocala National
but not
Forest,
near as many as you have, say, up in the Okefenokee.
Right.
Florida.
Right. Or up towards aiming towards Perry, the Panhandle.
Right.
Go.
And then you get around Orlando, and you have evergreens.
Yeah.
But you don't have southern yellow pines.
Right.
You don't have the big pine trees like we have.
Right.
And you get down to Naples, Fort Myers, they're almost non-existent.
Right. Right. And even your oaks.
And you would think because they're evergreens, they would thrive throughout the whole state.
But not necessarily. I mean, they.
Why is that?
Well, could be water usage. If you're getting too close to the coast, it could be salt tolerances. Just that it doesn't go to sleep.
Yeah, never sleeps.
That there is no dormancy, no dormant time. And I know people say, "Oh, well, we don't have seasons here." Yes, we do. We have definite.
Sure we do. We have snowbird, summer, and flip flop.
And hurricane.
Yeah. Four.
But I mean, there are some actual changes in temperatures.
Well, yes, of course.
I mean, not just the tags changing as well. We get the change. Yeah, everybody says we don't have leaf change. Well, we have tag color change.
Speaking of temperature change, I was talking to somebody that is very knowing about grass growing.
Okay.
And when I say very knowing, they're the general manager and have been a general manager of golf courses for 20 plus years.
Right.
Okay. I'll say who it is. Jason Linhart, the
Okay.
general manager of Ocala Golf Club.
Okay.
They advertise with us here on the radio. And I said, how's transition going? And for people who don't know what transition is, that's from when Bermuda is dormant to where it wakes up and turns
begins
green.
to grow. Yeah.
He goes, it's a little rough this year.
We're dry.
And there's no, they don't ryegrass, they don't overseed or anything.
Right.
So and I go, why is it a little rough? He goes, well, it's been drier than normal.
Mm-hmm.
But we hadn't had the really warm nights like we need to in the upper 60s, lower 70s.
Right.
It's been in the 50s. And last night, the high last night, 62 degrees.
Yeah, it was chilly.
The
Yeah.
Bermuda, it's confused right now, isn't it?
We grow warm season grasses in Florida. That's what grows here. You can't grow Kentucky bluegrass here. It's not a warm season grass. Right. And that's exactly what it is. And everybody says, well, golf courses irrigate. What does that matter that it was dry? No, rain is what
Reclaimed
benefits.
water is never going to be as good as rainwater.
Right, and even water up out of a well
is not as good as
rainwater. I mean, you can watch the change happen overnight. You can be irrigating your lawn twice a week, and you're just sort of going, yeah, okay, the grass is there, it's starting. Boom, one rain shower, and the grass is green, it's lush, it's got a different color. You're needing to mow 3 days later.
Well, that's what this rain that's come through in the last few days. He was anticipating that would help, but then because it brought in a cold front with it, it's still 60, 61, 62 at night. And people don't realize Bermuda needs
warmer
night
weather.
as well.
Yeah, and that's what most things people don't realize, that it's your nighttime temperatures that affect your plants more than necessarily the daytime.
Really?
That when you're thinking on vegetables and things like that, if nighttime temperatures are not certain temperatures, that's when they either don't set their fruit usually. Tomatoes, for example, if it starts getting the nighttime temperatures much over 70 in the summertime, as summertime comes on, they stop setting fruit. It's
They're
too
like,
hot.
too hot. I'm not working.
It's too hot. Yeah, and the smaller ones, the cherry tomatoes, the plum tomatoes, they'll continue. But your larger, your regular slicing tomatoes, they'll just sort of. But if it's too cool, so it doesn't make any sense to plant too early, because they just won't fruit. If the temperatures get much below 65, down to 62, and that they're just not going to produce.
Which is what he said about the Bermuda grass.
Mm-hmm.
It needs warmer, and I go, what do you mean warmer?
warm
He goes,
soil.
middle 60, high 60s, low 70s.
Right.
Because the soil is warm, and then at nighttime, it takes the dew and it can
the
help
moisture,
process it.
that the
But he
ground,
says-
the root system's not cooling down.
He says right now, even with the rain and everything, the low last night was 61 degrees. Too cold for Bermuda.
Yeah. It'll perk up.
Well,
I mean, it will.
It'll still green up some, but
yeah.
not like it would if it was 71 instead of 61.
Right. And yeah, if we get a couple of, which we got another, the rest of this coming through, I guess, today.
Yes.
And then I think we're supposed to be good for
a while.
For a little while.
Yeah. But, Hugh, rain gauge Hugh,
Yeah.
he reported almost 7 inches at his house.
That's what I had. I had a little better than 4. I posted the picture onto the in the garden page.
But that much rain in less than 48 hours, how
It's-
much of it actually gets in the ground as opposed to runs off into retention ponds?
That's the biggest thing, is that a lot of it does run off. You found your mulch floated away
Our mulch went from the front of the house
to the
driveway.
Yeah. And,
some 80 feet away.
right. And that's because the yard held water
And then it just
long
created
enough,
a float.
and then created a float. Got current of some kind, whether or not it was wind or just
It was wind.
or the heaviness of the rain just moved that mulch over. That a lot of runoff did occur, with that now.
Tusquilla?
Usually my road, I have part of my neighborhood still has some Lime Rock Road, and the sides on these two roads have a tendency to wash out really bad when it rains too hard. They haven't washed out.
It's
so
rained
either
a lot.
they've
I don't know. It's
gotten-
rained.
yeah.
It's rained.
I don't think
rained
it's rained too hard.
It's rained
to
hard
cause-
at times, but only about 15, 20 minutes.
Right. So I think
Right.
a lot of this did soak in. I mean, of course, there's going to be runoff, but you're going to have that off of buildings, off of driveways, off of parking lots, and that is what
Tusquilla
fills-
Park here in
Yeah.
Ocala.
Okay.
The walking path, the bridge, and some of the path underwater.
Yeah.
Because it's Tusquilla Park and it's Tusquilla Lake, but it's really the pond there is
It's
really a
retention
retention
area.
pond. It's a
Right,
retention
right.
area. And it's overflown. It's overflowed the bridge and some of the walking path.
Wow.
That means a lot of rain
That's
downtown
a lot of
downtown
and
Ocala.
and over a short period of time.
Right.
So because the ponds couldn't process that and begin to drain some of it. Down by on 441, there was a section before you got to 80th, there by the sheriff's substation, that would flood.
Right.
And it would flood over over 441.
Where the RV place is now and everything. It used to flood bad.
They have dug a massive hole. It's not fancy. It's not pretty.
But it works.
it's got a lot of water in it.
Yeah,
It's almost to the top.
Well, the number 5, the green at Muni, the water's up to the rock, up above the rocks where it's right there. And, the retention pond on 13's holding about 1.5 foot of water, and it never holds water. So, a lot of rain. More to come with Carol Ann Baldwin. It's called In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.